What is up, my magic miscreants? Risen Dragon here with a fun deck for you today, and today we are diving into Insidious Roots and trying to see if we can make Golgari aggro sing. Okay, so this card is really interesting because it has creature tokens you control have tap and add 1 mana of any color. That's a little bit on the, dare I say, not irrelevant part, but whenever one or more creature cards leave the graveyard, your graveyard, create a 0/1 green plant creature token, then put a +1/+1 counter on each plant you control. See how this could get out of hand real fast if your opponent doesn't have anything to deal with it? Yeah, that's what happens. So how do we make this trigger? How do we make this work? How do we make this sing? Well, get cards into the graveyard, get them out of the graveyard. That easy. We do that in a bunch of different ways, so let's go into this. First, we are looking at this card right here, Fairy Dream Thief. When it enters the battlefield, surveil 1, so we can dump cards into the graveyard. Okay? For 2 and a black, we exile it from our graveyard. It leaves the graveyard, and you draw a card, and you lose 1 life. Okay? Not too bad. Snarling Gorehound. This is one that I got from MTG, Covert Go Blue. I'm sorry, Covert Go Blue in Ace MTG. Ace didn't use this one, but a Covert Go Blue did. Whenever another creature with power 2 or less enters the battlefield under your control, surveil 1. Okay, this is important because there's tons of synergy in this deck. Death Bonnet Sprout, of course, beginning of your upkeep, mill a card. If there are 3 or more creature cards in your graveyard, transform it. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may exile a card from a graveyard. If a creature card was exiled this way, put a +1/+1 counter on Death Bonnet Hulk. Feeds into the Insidious Roots. Rubble Belt Maverick. When it enters the battlefield, surveil 2, so we can dump cards into our graveyard if we want to. For a green mana, exile it. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. We can only activate it as a sorcery. Okay, we see where we're going with this, right? Seed of Hope. Mill 2 cards. You may put a permanent card from among the milled cards into your hand. You gain 2 life. Okay, Willowgeist. Another interaction here. Whenever 1 or more cards leave your graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on it. When it dies, you gain life equal to its power. Okay, now it's not every time whenever 1 or more cards leave your graveyard. Okay, so it doesn't trigger for every time a card leaves the graveyard. Okay, gotta make that point clear. Extract a Confession. We do have a little bit of spot removal. This is kind of like Sheoldred's Edict a little bit, but we have to collect evidence, and what that means is we exile cards with total mana value 6 or greater from your graveyard. Each opponent sacrifices a creature. If evidence was collected, instead each opponent sacrifices a creature with the greatest power among creatures they control. Okay, fun stuff. Undead Butler just kicks stuff into the graveyard, but when it dies, you may exile it. When you do, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Okay, so again, more interactions. Now we get to our killers, the top ones, okay? Kodama of the West Tree. Modified creatures you control have trample. That's why we're running Kodama in this deck, because we get enough of these on the battlefield with +1/+1 counters on it. They get trample, we get our damage across, okay? Now, of course, whenever a modified creature you control deals combat damage to a player, search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle. Meh. Okay, but it's the modified part that we have, okay? The Myco Tyrant. Now, this one already has trample, but this is where this deck really, I think, sings, and I think this was the missing key in a few of in Covert Go Blues and Ace's decks. Its power and toughness are each equal to the number of creatures you control that are fungi and or saplings. Okay? At the beginning of your end step, create X 1/1 black fungus creature tokens with this creature can't block, where X is the number of times you descended this turn, putting stuff into the graveyard. Remember, we've got Snarling Gorehound, Dream Thief, Maverick. These triggers, we're not running cards that have power more than 1. Okay, so again, more than 2, I should say. So this is going to trigger a lot and pump our Myco Tyrant if we just decide to dump cards into our graveyard. So that is another big killer finisher here. Okay, we are running Tyvar Jubilant Brawler. You may activate abilities of creatures you control as though those creatures had haste. Okay, that's important here. Okay, because this comes in, activates abilities, does not give them haste, but activate abilities as though they had haste. So we can pump an exorbitant amount of mana onto the battlefield, okay? We untap a target creature for +1. Its -2 is what we're interested, though. Mill 3 creature cards, and you may return a creature card with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. And the triggers trigger all over again. There's so much synergy in this build. So much synergy. I'm looking at my mana base right now. I'm going to put in another Takenuma, take out a Boseiju. But anyways, sideboard. Okay, we do 2 cut downs, some Bitter Triumph, some spot removal, Terror Tide. We should be running this main board, but we're running so many creatures and the potential to get a big board that we're just like, no, this is sideboard. Atrax's Fall, Assassin's Trophy. This could actually come in handy, especially if we get ossified and are against like mono white control, which we're going to do a video on tomorrow probably, or Thursday. I haven't quite figured it out yet. But anyways, Fade from History. We're not running a ton of artifacts or enchantments except for our Insidious Roots and Tyvar Stand to give us a little bit of protection. So this is our deck. This is the Insidious Golgari Aggro. If you like what you see, leave a like, leave a subscribe. If you're new to my channel, we do a best of 1 and we do a best of 3, so you can see how the deck functions in either one of those environments. So without further ado, let's get to the Insidious Golgari Aggro games, kids. We're against NG Schaefer for our best of 1 matchup. We go first. Not a bad keep. So we can do Takenuma into Gorehound, into the Dream Thief. Maybe even into... nah, we don't have the Insidious Roots yet, so we don't want to... We want to make sure that we... Okay, so let's say do Gorehound, Dream Thief, Seed of Hope maybe? Kumano, Mono Red. You gotta be kidding me. Kinda, sorta, not really. I knew that was gonna happen. Alright, so let's do this. Let's do the Dream Thief. We Surveil. Seed of Hope we can probably do without. Death Bonnet Sprout I'll keep. For now. Let's do the Maverick. Surveils 2. Yeah, let's put that on top, because we could always take that. And no, that's fine. And we'll just do this. And we'll watch as we get absolutely murdered, but that's okay. Interesting. So they didn't have anything. Alright, let's do Seed of Hope. And see what they do. Oh, that's fun. Let's see. Put this into our hand. I guess that's fine. We gain some life. We're going to need that because... mono red reasons. And we're gonna hold off on doing anything. They'll play with fire, my Dream Thief. That's okay. Oh, that's instant speed. Oh, they didn't do that. Ah. Now we could have done Seed of Hope, but I think that's neither here nor there. Alright, well, and there's Chandra. That's an interesting one. Okay.
Go ahead, bite me as hard as you can, because I'm real stubborn. Aw, you're looking a little singed.
And you know what? Let's do the Maverick. Put that on that. And let's... I'm not a huge fan of that Chandra, so I'm just gonna say bye.
Just when I was having a good time.
Yeah, I know, Chandra. I'm sorry. Okay, let's do a bonus best of 1 then. We are against Orland for our best of 1 matchup, our bonus best of 1 matchup. We have some synergy with this. I like this. We put down the Roots, put down the Butler, and then the Tyvar maybe? I like that idea. Oh, okay. Greedy freebooter, eh? Fun stuff. We put down the Insidious Roots. It's not a bad idea. Put down the Butler. We put down the Butler to make sure we get something in the graveyard. Oh, why are we not running that card? Why are we not running Tenacious Underdog? That can keep coming back and coming back. Oh my gosh. What a can't believe it. That's one of those things where you're like, yeah, you really... okay, let's do this. There we go. Okay, cool. So now we have a pretty big undead butler. Okay, flesh gorgers are no fun. We can bring stuff back, too. You're gonna rue that badly. We are gonna take action. We are going to bring the Gorehound back. And let's do the... Watch this. Alright, let's do the Brawler. Let's do Tyvar. Let's do milling 3 cards. Let's bring back the Willowgeist. That's fun. That's fun. Kodama. Kodama. Swing. Fine. Now that is kind of the downside, I think, to this build, is we have that in hand and ready to go, but we've got to... but that also just does that, so we can ramp into stuff further. Okay, do you have a mass removal here? Shieldred. That doesn't scare me, actually. It really doesn't scare me at all. Really does not scare me. Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, we'll do that. Merciless Cottage, eh? Cool. Resolve. We'll do this. I'm gonna mulligan that, mail that. Yeah, there we go. Let's bring that back. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do this. Untap that creature. Rebel Belt Maverick on this. Sure. Let's do that. Can I just, like, swing? Okay, we get them down to 2. Look at all this land we're gonna get. Bonk. 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 Decline. Look at all this. Dump that. Yep. Dump that. Dump that. No, I'll keep that. Keep that. Okay, so... yeah. This is a thing. Please don't have a board sweep. Please don't have a board wipe. Fine. Fine, I'll sacrifice my Kodama. I don't care. Fine. Bye. Fine. I don't care. Let's go the best of 3. We are against Dave the Noob, a platinum level player. This is a bit slow, but we have these two, so yeah, let's do what we can with this. I think let's do Deathcap Glade into okay. Let's do Insidious Roots. And maybe Death Bonnet Sprout into Myco Tyrant. Or another Insidious Roots. Yeah, sure, let's do... no, let's not. Let's do another Insidious Roots, though. This could get really out of control, like real fast, if we've got 2 of those on the board. And they've yet to play something? Topiary Stomper. Well, we might have to do something about that. That is slightly a well, is it a problem? I think it is. I think we're just going to just do that. Let's do the bonnet. Because at least this way, we can, if it stays alive, we mill, and then we go into Vonin Klexor. Oh my. Well, that's a problem. I probably should have saved that confession. Okay, well, we can... Now, let's do this. Let's do this. Wow. Alright, well. We're in a little bit of trouble here. So, yeah. Realm Breaker, huh?
I must bend Realm Breaker to my will.
Okay, yeah, oh, this is one of those fun decks, isn't it?
My voice beckons to
Okay,
all
so what we're
worlds.
going to do is this. We're going to... Oh! It's our graveyard, not a graveyard. So, we'll just chump block the cottage and do that. Yep, we'll do that. Insidious Roots take over. Let's bring the Gorehound back. Yep, let's do that. Let's do the Willowgeist. This guy don't know what about to hit him. That's not gonna save you. Oh my god, this deck is insane! This deck is absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. I don't even care. Let's just do this. Let's just get rid of their... Yeah, they don't even want to see what's coming next. This deck is absolutely bonkers. Absolutely, look at this. That was just crazy. Absolutely nuts. I have no words. Insidious Roots is absolutely... You're gonna have to play Graveyard Hate against this thing. I mean, not that we don't anyways. I mean, I will say, though, that an Esper build, anything that runs Farewell or your Graveyard Trespassers, that's going to absolutely hose this deck. So, yeah, we gotta... And Dave the Noob is probably swapping out all his Return to Natures and all that he may have sideboarded in, but that's okay. I mean, I think a deck like an Esper build with Dennick is going to absolutely just shut this deck down. It does have its weaknesses, and Graveyard Hate definitely is a major weakness because it takes away our big strategy. So we got to be wary of that with this build. So we have a winning record with this deck tonight. Everything else is a bonus from here on out. I don't really care if I hit. And we'll keep it. It's a bit slow, but it's fine. We'll deal. Yeah, Restless Cottage isn't a bad play. And really, we get another dually, and then we're in pretty good shape. Ask and ye shall receive. I don't want a Pain land, but I'll take a Takenuma. Yeah, that's fine. I'll take 3 damage. Lurgoyf, huh? Interesting. May have played that a little too soon, but that's okay.
Share in my glory.
That's okay. Are you stuck on 1? Are you stuck on 2 mana? I don't really care if you can take out my Tyvar. I'm fine with that. Absolutely 100% fine with that.
So long as evil lives, so will.
Wow, we hit all of our seeds of hope though. That's not too bad. Yeah, we'll take that. Put that down. I'll take that too. Yeah, sure, let's swing. It's got trample, but sure, go for it. Now, yeah, did they get a little bit mana shorted? Yeah, absolutely they did. Although the Seed of Hope, I probably okay. Well, you know what? Let's go to the post-game analysis. That was a show. That was a show. That's what I like to see. Yes, I had fun with that match. Let's go to the post-game analysis. 4-0 with this deck, friends. 4-0. It's what I like to see. It's what I love to see. And I think the big difference from some of the other decks, you know, was taking the Gorehound idea from the Gorehound, the Maverick, and the Geist. That was Covert Go Blue. MTG, Ace MTG put in his Tyvar in the Insidious Roots, obviously, with all the other pieces. But adding the Myco Tyrant, adding Kodama to get our damage across is just double chef's kiss. Mwah. Absolutely beautiful. This is a breathtaking build. Golgari, Insidious Golgari aggro. It really does go aggro on you. I could not have asked for a better video. It really makes up for the clunker that I made Sunday night. I'm still embarrassed about that Esper build. That was just not a good build. But I'm hoping that I learned from it. I'm hoping you learn from it, and I hope you learn from this video, and I hope you take this deck and make it work for you. If you like what you see, leave a like, leave a subscribe, and as always, my magic miscreants, may you always be on the play. May all your spells hit the board. Risen Dragon is out. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.